Hey everyone! Today we're diving into a pretty intense topic that's been making waves of fraud scheme involving North Korean remote IT workers. It's like something out of a spy movie, but it's real, and it's affecting countless people and companies.
Let's break it down. First off, this whole thing revolves around 5 individuals who were indicted recently.
It's wild to Americans, and one Mexican national are involved. But the real kicker is the role of North Korean nationals in this scheme. They were essentially using their skills in a way that's not just illegal, but also seriously unethical.
It's a lot to unpack here, and I really want to emphasize how important it is for us to understand the implications of these kinds of operations. Now, let's get into how this fraud actually works.
So, remote IT work is supposed to be, like, a way for companies to tap into global talent, right? But these folks were exploiting that. They were using forged documents to get hired and even had local collaborators helping them out.
And, there's this thing called a laptop farm set up basically. A bunch of computers running from a single location, making it look like they were legitimate workers. It's just so deceptive, and honestly, it makes you think twice about who you're hiring. Moving on to the financial impact, this is where it gets really heavy. Millions of dollars were funneled back to North Korea, and that's no small change.
It's not just about the money, though. There are long-term consequences for the American companies that got involved. It's kind of scary to think that some of that cash could be linked to North Korea's arms programs.
Just imagine the ripple effects of that. Now, let's talk about the risks associated with hiring remote workers, especially from high-risk countries like North Korea. There's this huge cybersecurity risk.
Hiring these remote workers can lead to malware installations and data breaches, which, no one wants. It's a reminder that we need to be super vigilant in our hiring practices.
On top of that, we have to consider the legal and ethical ramifications of this whole situation. Those involved in the conspiracy could face some serious legal trouble, and it raises questions about the ethics of hiring from such high-risk areas.
It's tough to navigate, and, I think we all need to reflect on our responsibility when it comes to hiring practices. This brings us to the broader context. Since the pandemic, there's been a rise in remote worker fraud schemes.
It's like the world changed overnight, and so did the ways people try to take advantage of it. And with international sanctions against North Korea, it's a complicated web that we're all trying to untangle.
So, to wrap it all up, this situation is intense and definitely eye-opening. It's a reminder for all of us to stay vigilant when hiring and to be aware of potential fraud schemes. If you found this information helpful, I'd love for you to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep this conversation going. Honestly, reflecting on all of this, I feel a mix of anger and sadness.
It's frustrating to think about how people can exploit systems and put others at risk. But, I also feel grateful for the awareness we're gaining. It's a wake-up call for better practices, and I think there's something positive in that.
Let's learn from this, stay informed, and support one another in making ethical choices. Thanks for tuning in, and take care out there.